Okay, the layout's a mess. The room's a disaster. So I just want to just take a quick moment here and just do a very, very quick layout update. Just talking about some new things that I have here. I'll start with the most obvious, which is this lift bridge. If you recall in the last, I think it was the last layout update, I showed the old bridge that I had here, which was a like custom hand-built like truss bridge. It's a good bridge, but I didn't like it for a few reasons. The primary one being it was too big. Like it was a double track bridge, so it was too wide. It just looked too big. Um, and then it just wasn't gonna, it just didn't look right. I didn't like it. And then couple that with the fact that I had a guy, DJ's O-Gauge Trains on YouTube. You might have seen him. Offered to sell me a Lionel lift bridge, which was my original plan to have a Lionel lift bridge here. He offered to sell me one of his, or one I guess that he had for a very, very good price. I couldn't pass it up, so I went ahead and bought it. So that was one reason. And then I was also in Cleveland a few weeks ago. And if you've ever been to Cleveland, over the Cuyahoga River, every bridge there is either like a lift bridge or a bascule, like drawbridge, to provide clearance to the lake boats that go down the Cuyahoga River. So seeing the lift bridges there, seeing the actual nickel plate bridge that's in Cleveland, as well as the New York Central Bridge, the lift bridge there, were kind of inspirational to get a lift bridge or to finally get a lift bridge and put it on here in the layout. So this just actually came in tonight when I'm recording this, and so I did a little bit of like basic painting and detailing so far. Like I painted the cables black. I also painted all the gears up here black. Before they were like, well, the cable's just like a grayish color, and then the wheels and the gears up here, they were painted or they weren't painted at all. They were just like a bare brass, and I don't like that. I wanted it to be all black. So that alone, I really think increased or enhanced the look of the bridge quite a bit. And then I have some more detailing in line for this. Obviously, I'm gonna like paint the rails, so they match the rails in the fast track. But more importantly, I want to take off these like cross bracing here. I understand, I haven't tested it yet, but I don't think this bridge lifts. I don't think the lifting thing on it works, which is fine. I don't really care. I don't have a reason to lift it anyway. I'm not like a big accessory person, and I think my layout isn't necessarily like a big like O-Gauge accessory filled layout in the first place. So my plan here is to actually remove all of these cross beams, and this middle one is actually this helps the bridge raise and lower. It's all gear driven, and actually you can see it rotates. So I don't think it works to begin with, to my knowledge. This bridge, it raises or lowers to begin with, and I'm just going to further remove that feature from the bridge, which is removing all these cross bracing, including the one in the middle. And then I'm going to add some wiring detail and such across the top, all based off prototype photos of the nickel plate lift bridges, the one that's in Cleveland, as well as the N&W one that's in Lorraine, the N&W era one that's in Lorraine, which is what this bridge is going to be modeled after. Then of course I want to go ahead and weather it. So I think all of those is going to make this bridge look really, really good. It just looks awesome. Like I think when you like walk into the layout now or you see it from a distance, it just looks a lot more commanding than the old bridge did. It just looks really good. So I'm really happy about that. Other new things I want to show real quick. This is the BM tower. I talked about this in one of my previous layout updates. This is the 3D printed BM tower that I have. My brother designed and printed for me. I think it looks great, so I went ahead and painted it last week. I think the roof is on a little bit crooked, but you get the idea. I think it looks really good. Painted it to accurate nickel plate colors, accurate for the most part. The gray that I bought was slightly too dark. I didn't look at. I just used a rattle can spray paint for the gray, and on the can, it didn't look quite as dark as it actually was, but I think it looks fine. I mean, I do plan on weathering this. But most of the paint's in. I need to decal the BM on the board here, and I also need to add a window like glass or some kind of plastic panes in the windows, because right now they're just hollow. But it looks pretty good. Looks better than it did before. It looks pretty much complete, so really happy about that. Other things here. Went to a local train show a few weeks ago, and I found there's a guy there who was selling these like really, really nice signs, and even nicer about them was the price. They were very reasonably priced, a lot cheaper than I was anticipating they were going to be. So I bought two. I bought this nice locomotive shop sign for my workbench. I think it looks pretty good. And then, even better, I bought over here a replica builder's plate This is a replica of the builder's plate that was on the 779 Berkshire. You can see it has the May 1949, and he has them, they're all labeled on the back, so I knew which ones he had. He had a couple nickel plate Berkshire ones. He had, off the top of my head, he had the 764, one with the 743. I got the 779 because that one, 779 is the most, that's, if I get, I mean, I do plan on getting more Berkshires, and 779 would have ran on the east end, the nickel plate, so I wanted to get one of an engine that I might have at some point. I think that'd be kind of cool. And I think my eventual plan for this area between the two windows here is to have like a nice, get some more of these signs. Like I said, they're very reasonably priced. I'd like to get a couple more of those builder's plate, you know, sign. He has a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe kind of have like a nice wall of that kind of thing. Then the last, well, no, there's two more things I want to show. You see below here, I ripped out the scene I had there before. It was just like an underpass representing at Harbor Creek. Kind of tying in with that here, you'll see over here, I have this whole area, I have a cardboard lattice, and I have just the base plaster cloth over it. When I was doing the plaster cloth over there with the original underpass scene, it came to my attention how poorly made that was, and just how it just wasn't, it was made out of cardboard, and it just, the plaster cloth didn't lay well on it. It was kind of a pain to get on, and that kind of further ruined it. So I decided to rip that whole scene up. And instead, I'm going to model an actual like overpass and tunnel underpass sort of thing that's just east of the town, or where the, you know, like the area of Brockton that I'm modeling. So this, I like this is better. You can see where the car is, that is Lake Road, and then down below there is Slippery Rock Creek. And they pass through two concrete portals, kind of side by side, and the creek is obviously a little bit lower than the road. So I'm going to model that scene. Right now I have just some very, very poorly made portals I made out of foam. They don't look good at all. My brother, he's going to 3D print. He showed me some renderings and designs he made of some new portals that he built, or he designed, and will print for me. So they're going to look really good. I think this scene's going to look a lot better than it did before. It's already a lot better built. See, I have the road and the creek there made out of like actual plywood and not just cardboard. Once I get the 3D printed stuff in, the 3D printed portals, I'll go ahead and put all the terrain back in, and this is going to be a much much better scene. I think it's going to have a lot. This is going to have a lot better results, and it's just going to look better. Let's see, like two more things I want to talk about, or maybe two more things. Well, I already kind of talked about this before. I have all the lattice and the cardboard in over here, as well as all the plaster cloth. I don't think I had this in the last scene. So at this point, pretty much all of the cardboard lattice and very, very basic terrain is complete. All the major stuff. I mean, I have both like sides of the layout over here, and then I have over here. So that leaves the scene here at Brockton, the overpass scene, or the underpass scene here at Brockton, which I'll do once I get the tunnel portals, or I get the portals in. And then as I work on the bridge scene, I need to do how I'm going to do the riverbank and the terrain, you know, from the track down to the river. So that'll come once I get the bridge done. And then one last very quick thing that's new is I have the track. All the track is weathered now. All the Penske Chautauqua branch track is weathered. So I have like one or two. I have, you know, a piece here or there I need to finish, but at this point, like 99.7% of all the track is done. So it looks pretty good. But anyway, that's about it for this very, very brief and quick and probably poorly made layout update. Thank you for watching. I have some more stuff planned. I might do some more weathering videos, specifically once I get around to doing this bridge. I might like to do a weathering video on that, maybe some freight car stuff. And I think with this bridge, I'm a lot more motivated to really get back into the layout and do a lot more work on it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.